Dear students, today we are going to study Stock Exchange chapter, Unit number 8, Unit number 3, Chapter number 7, plus 2 Commerce portion, Stock Exchange chapter. Today we will study two questions. What are the functions of stock exchange, and another question is what are the features of stock exchange. These two questions I want to explain today. From the examination point of view, these two questions are very important questions. For the last many examinations, public examination, this question is asked. So try to study these two questions. What are the functions of stock exchange and features of stock exchange? First we study the functions of stock exchange. Before that, I just explain what is the meaning of stock exchange. I hope you have some idea about stock exchange. Stock exchange is a market where securities are bought and sold. In the stock exchange, do not do any business, but they provide the place for buying and selling the securities. Only the second-hand securities are traded in the stock exchange. The fresh shares are not at all issued in the stock exchange, not at all traded in the stock exchange. Only second-hand listed securities are bought and sold. Only through brokerage we have to buy or sell the securities. Very important points. The same points will come to the functions of stock exchange. Stock exchange do not do any business. Through brokerage only securities are bought and sold. Second-hand securities are bought and sold. Then one more point, only listed securities are bought and sold. These are all the important points we studied in the previous class. The same point will comes in the functions as well as the features. So I want to explain 5 points in the examination point of view. In the textbook 9 points are given. I simply explain only first 5 points alone. Remaining points you will study, you will refer the textbook and study. This question is given in page number 46. Please open your textbook and study these questions. What are the functions of stock exchange? First we study the heading. Point number 1, ready and continuous market. Ready and continuous market. Point number 1. You simply memorize this point. Functions, ready and continuous market. What are the functions of stock exchange? First of all, you try to write the heading. Ready and continuous market. Point number 2. Point number 2. Correct evaluation of security. Correct evaluation of securities. First of all, you study these two questions, these 2 points. After that, we will study remaining 3 more points. Then, ready and continuous market. Stock exchange is a market for existing security. Already I told, only the second-hand securities are bought and sold in the stock exchange. First point, stock exchange is the place to market the existing securities. Those securities are in the hands of the traders. The same securities can be marketed in the stock exchange. In the stock exchange, only existing securities are traded. That means the second-hand securities are bought and sold in the stock exchange. Ready and continuous market. Point number 1, only the existing securities are traded in the stock exchange. Then point number 2, in the stock exchange, the investors can convert the share into cash, and cash can be converted into share. Shares can be converted to cash. Likewise, cash can be converted into share. Point number 2, in the ready and continuous market, the first functions of stock exchange is ready and continuous market. The stock exchange is the place where marketing the existing security. That means the second-hand securities are bought and sold. The investors can easily convert the share into cash. Likewise, they can convert the cash into share. Then, marketing of security increase the liquidity. These 3 points you will write. Then, once again explain, ready and continuous market. Stock exchange is the market for existing security. I will tell the same point again and again. You will mark in the textbook and study. 1 word question, 2 more question, 3 more question, you write it in the notebook. You write all the questions in a notebook. But in the essay type question only, you try to mark it in the textbook. I just explain what is given in our textbook, that's all. So, ready and continuous market. Stock exchange is a market for existing securities. That means the second-hand securities are only traded in the stock exchange. The shares can be converted into cash. Likewise, cash can be converted into share. Then it creates liquidity. That's the first point. Then second point, correct evaluation of security. The prices in the securities are recorded. The buying price as well as selling price. Buying price as well as the selling prices are recorded and it is published daily. This is called market quotation. Sometimes in the short answer question, what is the meaning of market quotation? Buying and selling of securities are recorded and published daily in the stock exchange. So it is called as market quotation. So correct evaluation of securities are found in the securities market, that is in the stock exchange. Then once again I will explain correct evaluation of securities. In the stock exchange, the buying price as well as the selling prices of each and every shares, each and every securities are recorded and which is published daily in the newspaper as well as television. It is published daily. All the buying prices and selling prices of all the securities are recorded and published. It is called as market quotation. So, the correct evaluation of securities are made in the stock exchange. That is the second function. The third function, protection of investors. Third and fourth point. Third point, protection to investors. Protection to investors. And point number 4, proper channelization of capital. Proper channelization of capital. Then protection of investors. All the dealings of the securities in the stock exchange are well defined rules and regulations. Strict rules and regulations are followed in the stock exchange. If any malpractice is undertaken, malpractice is done in the stock exchange by the broker, they are severely punished. Then, protection to investors. All the dealings in the stock exchange are made through the strict rules and regulations framed by the stock exchange. Already I explained, stock exchange do not do any business. They provide the place for doing the business. So the strict rules and regulations are framed by stock exchanges. Each and every stock exchanges are having their own rules and regulations. They are not violating the Securities Contract Regulation Act of 1956. So strict rules and regulations are in the stock exchange. So there is no corruption or malpractice, fraud or not at all occurred in the stock exchange. So any malpractice is undertaken, the brokers or the members of the stock exchange are strictly punished. So it protects the investors. Once again I explain, in the stock exchange, strict rules and regulations are in the stock exchange. So any malpractice is done, it is strictly punished. Then point number 4, proper channelization of capital. People like to invest in the share of such companies which yield good profit. Those companies which are having good profit are having reputation in the minds of the public. Those companies which are having more profit, that companies are having reputation in the society. So the savings of the individuals are directly investors to the companies, though declare good dividend. Those companies which gives good dividend, that securities are bought by the investors. So individual savings are in the form of capital. Then once again explain, proper channelization of capital. Those companies which are earning good profit, that companies are having high reputation in the society. So the investors are trying to invest their amount, invest their savings. Their expectation is to get a good dividend. So the savings of the individuals are properly channelized in the form of capital. Once again I explain, third point and fourth point, protection to investors. Strict rules and regulations are framed in the stock exchange. So any malpractice is undertaken by the brokers or members of the stock exchange, they are severely punished. Then point number 4, proper channelization of capital. Those companies which are earning good profit are having reputation in the eyes of the public. So the individual savings are properly channelized in the form of capital, and the investors are expecting good dividend. Then point number 5, aid for capital formation. Point number 5, aid to capital formation. Stock exchange publishes the prices and facilities provided by the various industrial securities. The price and facilities, the prices and facilities provided by the industries are published by the stock exchange. The price, the each and every transactions, their price, their decision, then and their notification and all the facilities, everything is given by the stock exchange. So the price and facilities provided by the industries are published to the public through stock exchange. Stock exchange published not only the price but also the facilities. What are the new units the industries are going to start are published by the stock exchange. So the people can easily invest the amount. The people are expected to introduce capital into the business. So the steady flow of capital of the industrial development is found with the help of stock exchange. Once again I explain, aid to capital formation. In the stock exchange, the prices and facilities provided by the industries or the companies declaration, companies facilities, companies notification, everything is published through stock exchange. So it leads to steady flow of capital and assists the industrial development of a company, of the country. Once again, the prices and facilities provided by the industries are published to the public through stock exchange. So it creates a steady flow of capital and assist industrial development. Dear students, in our textbook 9 points are given. I explain only 5 points. Remaining points you refer the textbook and study. First 5 points you study the heading and the answer. Ready and continuous market, correct evaluation of security, protection to investors, proper channelization of capital, aid to capital formation. These are all the functions of stock exchange. Then I want to explain what are the features of stock exchange also. Study these two questions, you mark it and study it. What are the features? It is given in page number 47. You refer the page number, you open your page number and try to study this question. Features of stock exchange. Here also 5 points I want to explain. First 2 points. Point number 1, market for securities. Market for securities. Point number 2, deals in second-hand securities. Deals in second-hand securities. Market for securities. Point number 1. What are the features of stock exchange? Point number 1. Market for securities. Point number 2. Deals in second-hand securities. Point number 1. Market for securities. Stock exchange is a market for corporate bodies, then point number 2, government securities, and point number 3, semi-government securities. Stock exchange is a market for corporate bodies. Stock exchange is a market for government. Stock exchange is a market for semi-government securities. Semi-government securities, government securities, corporate securities are traded in the stock exchange. So, stock exchange is a market for corporate bodies. Stock exchange is a market for government securities. Stock exchange is a market for semi-government securities. Then, deals in second-hand securities. Stock exchange, already we studied stock exchange. The fresh shares are not at all issued in the stock exchange. Through stock exchange, only the second-hand securities like share, debenture, bond are traded. Second-hand securities like share, debenture and bonds are marketed in the securities market. So it is also called as a secondary market. Stock exchange is also called as a secondary market. Primary market, the fresh shares are issued. Through stock exchange, only second-hand securities are traded. So it is also called as a secondary market. First 2 points. Okay, once again explain what are the features of stock exchange. Point number 1, market for securities. Stock exchange is a market for corporate bodies. Governance securities, semi-governance securities are bought and sold in the stock exchange. Point number 2, deals in second-hand securities. The second-hand securities, that is those shares which are existing in the hands of investors are traded in the stock exchange. The share, debenture, bonds are traded in the stock exchange. Only second-hand securities are traded in the stock exchange, so it is called as a secondary market. Then third and fourth point, regulator of trade in securities. Point number 3, stock exchange is the regulates trade in securities. Regulates trade in securities. Point number 4, allows dealing only in listed securities. Regulate trade in securities. Stock exchange do not buy or sell the securities. In the stock exchange, they do not buy. The stock exchange do not buy or sell the securities, but it provides the place for doing the markets. It is stock exchange provide the place for buying and sell the securities. The members of the stock exchange can buy and sell the share on behalf of the investors. The members of the stock exchange do not buy and sell the securities. The members of the stock exchange, that is the brokers, can connect the buyer and seller. That's all. They do not do any business. In the stock exchange, they do not buy or sell the securities on their own account, but it provide the place for, it provide the infrastructure facilities to the traders, to the investors. So buyer and sellers infrastructural facilities are provided by the stock exchange. Stock exchange do not buy or sell any security. They provide only the place for marketing the securities. Infrastructure facilities are provided to the buyer and seller. Then allows dealing only on listed security. In the stock exchange, only listed securities are bought and sold. Then unlisted securities are not traded in the stock exchange. What is in a listing? The inclusion of securities in the official trade list of the stock exchange. The stock exchange is having one official list. Those company shares are included in the official list. That securities alone is traded in the stock exchange. Then we have one more point. Point number 5. Transactions affected only through members. Already we studied, the buyer and seller is not directly buy or sell the securities in the stock exchange. Only through brokers. Only through brokers. The broker may be called as a member. Only through the brokers only the securities are bought and sold. Already in the last class I explained, broker is a commission agent. Broker is a commission agent. He merely connects the buyer and seller. They get a commission. So the members of the stock exchange do not buy or sell any securities. Only they connect the buyer and seller and get a commission from both sides. So transactions are effected only through members. Dear students, you mark it. I explained just what is given in the textbook. That's all. So you mark it in the textbook and study these 5 points. Once again, I explain what are the features. Stock exchange is a market for corporate bodies, government, semi-government. It deals only to the second-hand securities, that is share, debenture, bonds are issued. So it is also called as a secondary market. Then regulates trade in securities. Stock exchange do not buy or sell the securities on their own account. It will provide the infrastructure facilities to the members. Then point number 4, allows dealing only on listed security. Only listed securities are bought and sold. Unlisted securities are not at all traded. The inclusion of securities in the official list of the stock exchange. Official list. The stock exchange is having one official list. Those securities are comes in the official list. That securities alone is traded in the stock exchange. Point number 5, transactions are effected only through members. Members may be called as a broker. Broker is a commission agent. They merely connect the buyer and seller. They do not buy or sell any security. They merely connect the buyer and seller and get the commission from both sides. So transactions are effected only through members. Dear students, this answer is one page number 46 and 47. Please try to mark it in your textbook and study. God bless you.